Okay, hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to 20 Minute Tea with Pratyasha. On 20 Minute Tea, we talk about big brain stuff under 20 minutes. Under the topics of adulting and transitioning from teenhood to adult. Under the pressures of we also talk about adulting and designing, which is designing is passion and design. The way that 20 Minute Tea works is that we set up the playground with a construction of a topic that we just talked about at the beginning, and then we go into abstraction and play, where we have dialogic creative, where we practice the dialogic creative process, where we just explore and really talk about all sorts of stuff. Kind of gets a little bit messy, but we actually explore very interesting things. And at the end, we have a little bit of a synthesis where we try to draw some final points that we can improve and to feedback into our lives. This week, I'm joined with Ethan. Hello, Ethan.
Hello.
This is Ethan, and how are we related?
Kind of tired. Very tired.
But how are we related?
How are we related? How are we related? Cousins. We're just cousins.
Yeah, we're cousins. You are 17, just turned 17. Happy birthday again.
Thank you.
And yeah, I'm 20, so there's about like a 3-year gap.
That's a very old person.
I guess, guys, you can see from this like stoner vibe that Ethan is a bit more of a stoner kind of dude.
If I had weed, I would smoke it. That is my big brain.
Your state. your state.
Yes.
Yeah. So, what do you think we covered in this episode of 20 Minute Tea, Ethan? Like a general overview. We talked for 1 hour actually.
I can't really come to a conclusion. There's so many different points, but I think it's that information.
Information,
yes. And how you deal with information, I think.
Okay, yeah, that's a really good point, because information also does affect the way we believe or the way we see ourselves. Maybe like we talk about body image and stuff like that in this episode. We also talk about like how it also influences like people's behaviors, like in like Trump and like maybe I don't know, what do we say, the rallies and the protests and stuff like that. And information in the sense that it also does play a big part in also defining like the way we see ourselves, or like the way we also realize different passions and stuff like that, and finding true satisfaction. Information does play a big part in redefining reality as it is. Would you say so? Yeah.
Information just shapes the way we think and how like our brain connects the points together.
Right. Yeah. Wow, this is like very interesting. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Sit back, relax, and intellect. Let's get into the episode. Maybe Ethan, you can like share with the audience, like, how do we even know you? How am I related to you, or how are you related to me?
I was kind of born to know you, you know. It's like I was probably visited by you in the hospital when I was a baby, maybe. So that's.
But how do we know each other? How do we know each other?
Christmas
how are we related?
Dinners, man.
How are we related?
Related cousins? Is it? I don't know. Like cousins. I know some people's like the one removed cousin. I don't get that system, so it's like, that one. Yeah, so cousins. Yeah, that's cousins.
Right. So we are first removed cousins, I guess. No, we're not removed at all. We're cousins, direct
it's
cousins.
Just direct cousins.
Okay, so basically, guys, if you want to know, my dad has 4 sisters. So there's Taku, Erku, Sanku, my dad, and then Xiaoku. That's from my perspective. Your end, how would you call it?
I call it like Dai, Yi, San Yi, then it's Chiu Chiu, then it's my mom.
Which is my dad. And then so my dad is the elder brother of my your mom.
Yeah. But like, yeah.
Yeah, and so Ethan is you're the second born.
Yep, the middle child.
Out of 3. Out of 3 kids, and your sister is like 1 year younger than me, but born in the same year, 2000. And you are how old? How old are you?
I'm 17. I just turned 17.
Wow! Oh yeah! Happy birthday!
Thank you.
Happy birthday! Wow! How does it feel to be 17? Oh my goodness.
Kinda sucks, you know.
It's like sign me up for that depression.
Yeah, and so like the
which is something very interesting, because like nowadays like people start going into this kind of midlife crisis much earlier and earlier, don't you think?
Yeah, I think it's just because more people have information, you know, like
Right.
if I was born without internet, I probably wouldn't know what the heck is a midlife crisis.
Right.
Yeah, it's like it just
It's
makes
the
it
kind of
easier.
entertainment that we get, and like the kinds of novels or like the kinds of ideas that we get fed, and like other people are experiencing it. Then after that, we believe that we're also supposed to go through this kind of really like messed up experience. But
Your brain
actually
kind of
it's
just puts you in the situation, right?
yeah. Yeah, 17. What was I doing when I was 17? 17, I went to poly. No, I was taking my second round of O levels because I split my O levels into 2 years.
Ah,
Yeah.
it's nothing
Like,
really.
what's been bothering your mind or something like that?
Me? What has been bothering my mind? I learned this thing about law of attraction, which I find quite interesting. You know,
Law of attraction.
yeah,
Tell me about it.
it's kind of like a new fad online, but I don't think it's a fad. Maybe it's a true thing. It's like
Uh-huh.
where people basically like put themselves in a mental state where they have what they want, like their desires,
Uh-huh.
and it kind of just comes to them. I don't know whether it's real. That's why I'm quite I'm like skeptical.
What do you mean by that? What do you mean by that?
Because it's kind of like voodoo magic, you know. It's like you put yourself in a situation where you have it, and suddenly you have it. Like
Oh.
yeah. That's
Okay,
basically
I
law of
think I get what you
attractions, where
Uh-huh.
you just put your brain into a place where you want to be, then suddenly you
Right.
be it.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say it like that. I mean, for me, like, I also believe I think a strain of that kind of thinking of philosophy, in the sense that, like, for me, I believe that when you project good energy, or if you like if you behave in a certain way or behave professionally, the environment around you also generally becomes more professional. If you are very, very, I don't know, like bitchy, the environment around also you becomes very, very negative, right? So, you know what I mean? So in that sense, I do believe in that kind of stuff. But
It's
what
kind of like
was your
bad
take?
vibes and good vibes, you know.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's what I mean. But how about you? What's your take on that?
But there's some
Why
like,
are you
really,
so
like,
attracted to this?
scary success stories, like
Uh-huh.
where they so this like it's manifestation of like desires.
Right.
So sometimes like they manifest like really weird things. Like example, like,
Uh-huh.
I want to kiss my crush tomorrow. Then suddenly right,
Okay.
they write on the Reddit post like, I kissed my crush this morning and I manifested it last night. Like, whoa. It's like
You use Reddit?
yeah, I read I read a lot on Reddit.
Oh dear.
Yeah, no, it's a horrible
I haven't-
place sometimes.
I haven't gone to Reddit yet.
You should. It's a good place to
I
get
haven't gone.
ideas.
Alright. The weird, like, dark end of the internet.
Yeah.
Okay, talking about the dark end of the internet, I think we also can talk about like some conspiracy theories that we also have been thinking about. Okay, so from what I hear, you are an individual who really likes to like dabble and with these kinds of like odd thoughts.
Yeah, I'm kind of like a skeptic in everything. Like I just have to say no to like a lot of things.
Why? Why you just want to fight somebody?
Yeah. It's like itching for a fight all the time. It's like I have to fight
Why?
somebody.
What do you like consume, like certain types of like YouTubers or like these kinds of theory channels, and after that you always like have these kind of thoughts all the time?
It's less.
Do you think
deep,
it's your internet consumption?
Yeah, it's really bad. Internet is horrible. Internet is horrible. It's a
Uh-huh.
horrible place with horrible people, and
Uh-huh.
like
So
some
that's
people,
why you became like that? More of a skeptic?
yeah, it's just that if you're born into the internet, is you become like, you just, how do I say this?
Everything is fake news.
Like you can't believe everything that is on there because
Right.
some people are just really misinformed.
Right. In some ways, I came up with a list which was like I just went to like just quick like conspiracy theories. Like one of them is like the Earth is flat, global warming is a hoax, COVID-19 is a hoax, because like people there's two ways that people doubt that COVID-19 is a hoax. One is COVID-19 is a hoax because they doubt its severity, or it's like not as bad as they think. COVID-19 is a bioweapon developed by a foreign nation like China or something like that. Or another conspiracy theory like is like 5G technology can be used to manipulate the human race.
I hate dumb people, man. These types of people just cannot, like, even if the government was trying to like coax you into believing that they are
Right.
manipulating you, it's kind of
Right.
like just go with it, you know. It's like you don't want to die, like tomorrow it could be like kidnapped by the CIA or something.
Right. What are some like weird like odd conspiracy theories that you've come across?
What's the weirdest one I've ever come across? And just the one that's Kim Jong Un is dead or something. Is that
right? That's the latest one. That's the latest one. Apparently, I went onto the internet today and then they posted a photo of him, like at some like factory or something like that, celebrating something or something like that.
Nah, I can't trust anything that comes from North Korea, man. It's like when you're not open about something, you just cannot trust it.
Right. Let's talk about like news and fake news. What like this whole situation of the COVID-19 situation is like making people realize the importance of messaging and like these kinds of news, and like where you have like a leader of the world like Donald Trump is like posting a lot of all these kinds of like saying all sorts of things like inject yourself with he didn't say, but he suggested that people inject themselves with or consume disinfectants. Right? Do you see that one?
I just don't like Trump. He's just, I don't know, he just doesn't seem very educated. Doesn't seem like he's fit to run the country.
But there are a lot of people that believe him a lot because like he's an individual who really like speaks his mind and like a lot of people believe in these kind of things and then they just like his guts. So that's kind of like a drawing factor for like a lot of people, I guess. Republicans,
the rednecks, yeah, that's about the people that listen to him. I guess.
And from this point, I think we can also talk about like people like classification of people and classification of ideas, because one person like behaves in a certain way doesn't represent the whole group of people, right? And for example, if one Chinese does, I don't know, like spit on the road, it doesn't mean that all Chinese people are do this, and then right, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So what do you think about like classification of ideas and like developing a keen sense of self-awareness?
It's just that I don't know, some people you just have to like believe in your gut, you know. It's like sometimes just people believe in that thing and I respect that, you know, but like sometimes you're wrong. You know. But is it wrong to believe in the wrong things?
Is it wrong to believe in the wrong things?
Yeah. I don't know. I'm having existential crisis now.
That's cool. I like that. Is it wrong to believe in the wrong things? Well, I guess it's wrong if it does harm to other people than just yourself. What do you think about that?
That's some people's philosophy, I guess. Like some people like don't want to hurt others around them.
Right.
With their beliefs. So like some people do is like Scientology. It's like a horrible cult which hurts people. Throws them into debt and like.
What was Scientology? Tell me more about Scientology.
Scientology is just a really weird cult that apparently a lot of celebrities joined a while ago before they found out that it was really bad. Yeah. I don't really know what's it about. I just know that a lot of people would join it and it's a huge cult.
Right. And like cults like that are also very, very scary, because like one of the big things that's also resulting because of the cult like following of like Trump and stuff like that. One can say it's cult like following. I don't know. Oh dear, we're gonna get a lot of trouble like talking about this kind of political stuff.
Politics is bad, man. It's time
but what it's always a very, very iffy kind of topic to delve into. But I think it's interesting. I think one of the things that we also see with the Trump following is that he also does a lot just for the audience and stuff like that, and he says stuff to like get the people to side with him. For example, like building the wall and like keeping these certain types of people out of the country. One of the things that I did notice is that it's very, very like it's like a very dedicated following, in a sense that I don't know, people just want to defend, in a cult like way, even when it's not, because they also mistrust, they also don't trust the normal news media, like CNN or like News and Fox News and all these other places. They only trust like Fox News and like Donald Trump and stuff like that. That's kind of why there's still a huge following that just doesn't believe everything else that the media says and only wants to listen to what Trump says. And that's kind of why you have these kinds of revolts and these kinds of protests, which is very, very, very. The rest of the world doesn't behave like that. Only in America, it's because like how can you deny the fact that like there are thousands? They are having the most number of people that are dying in America, but like in the world, but they are still rejecting it. It's like so wild and bizarre.
Yeah, and that's why I don't treat news as news. I treat news as entertainment.
Right.
Because most of the time, facts are something that you like. For me, it's something that you come up with yourself. You're like given clear image of what it is, and that is a fact. Like you just believe that it is.
Right.
Yeah, and when like news kind of just like dilutes the point. It just like takes what people want and what they believe in, so they can like gain a following. It's money hungry. That's what it is.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I guess
That's
that,
my
in
point of view.
that sense, that's what oh, that's my mom. there's a lot of like an economic drive behind all these intentions of, and which is also a huge practice in terms of like journalism and proper journalism. There has to be also like there's certain sort of rules and regulations that have to be applied in the whole like guild of like journalism, which is something that I also learned, is that like they have to also be very, very I guess asexual or like very, very objective in their own approach towards like the things that they observe and the things that they experience, and then filter it to be like news lah. Because it also can like, when people also can say it's like diluted through the person's emotions and the person's filter, then after that it becomes more digital and not realistic news lah. What's your take on that?
It's just, I don't know, I just feel like they don't put it all on the table, you know, like all the
Right.
You just have to put everything down. I don't see why there's no news station that actually like, okay, like I haven't seen one, but like actually like puts down the solid facts and you give your opinion about it, you know. That's why.
Okay. Let's talk about some stuff that you like to talk about. Like, okay, so on the topic of news, and like you also like talk about like I asked you to come up with like some ideas or like some really odd thoughts that you kind of had, and like maybe you could share some with us. Like, what are some like thoughts? I got you to come up with a list. Maybe you want to share with the audience.
The list. The first one would be like the hierarchy of like facial features. Is it? Was that what I wrote? Yeah.
Yes.
I just feel like people that look better or like are taller have like just put in better positions than people that are not. You know.
Okay.
Yeah,
And then the other one will be what?
Oh, academic streams in Singapore, especially. Yeah, and the third one's gonna be religion. But
what about that?
Academic streams. I don't know, man. I just feel like when I made a really bad decision when I was 12, it's like going to normal academic. It's like I could have just studied. If I knew I'd end up like in ITE and stuff, it's just not the most pleasant place in the world. And like if I known that I can put myself in a better position, I honestly would, but I didn't.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh boy, this episode is gonna get much editing to do.
It's gonna get deleted. Absolutely deleted.
It's gonna be so many things to edit, but let's no, but in this, I think it's like what's interesting about it is that you're very honest and you're really willing to share your own perspective, and that's what I appreciate. And then you're really giving this to us. Yeah, to really like get into your mind and to also like see your perspective, because everybody has a unique perspective, because everybody has a different eye that sees the experience differently. Some people might have a better experience in ITE, other people might not have, and it's all about perspective. And maybe sometimes the situation is not negative, it's just the way we see things that make it more like messed up than what it actually is. And maybe it's just our own attitude, so I don't know. But yeah, let's get into the first topic, of which is what was it, hierarchy of like facial features or what?
Oh yeah, that one. I don't really know why I came out with the word hierarchy. I actually don't know, but I just feel like I want to be put in the position where I feel like I am confident in my body. You know?
Sorry, what?
I want to be put into a position where I feel comfortable about my body, because I don't know, I just feel very self-conscious most of the time, you know. It's like
in what areas? In what areas?
Height especially, because most people put emphasis on the height, especially like exclusively.
Right.
Yeah.
Tell me more about that. Because like I don't think like I mean, for me, like I can't relate.
Maybe it's because like I don't know. It's not that I grew up in a very like judgmental household. I won't say that. It's just that maybe it's just a society as a whole. Like some people I just don't filter in filter like what's good and what's bad sometimes. So it's like I see like a billboard there and it's like I want that, you know. It's like it's like a handsome, sexy man, Calvin Klein underwear. It's like I want that body.
Okay. like Cristiano Ronaldo or like Justin Bieber or like all those like massive bodies.
just-
But most of the time it's also Photoshop.
Yeah, but like Photoshop.
I also can
there's,
Photoshop
like,
you to like you have like taller and everything and like look better and
You
everything.
could
what?
though, you could, but that's the thing, it's the ideal body. It's like people, like that's how they manipulate people into buying stuff. They think that if you wear that, you get that body. Not everybody's on like the pursuit of getting the ideal body.
It's so odd that you also know that strategy or that manipulation that's going on, and like why do you still like feel that way if you know that they're already trying to manipulate you?
I know it, but I just can't help myself from getting out of that like mental hole that I put myself in, like of like
Right.
desire,
I think it's also because like sometimes it's also is due to the amount of consumption that we have of like a certain type of media, that certain type of depiction of the ideal man or like the ideal person or like the ideal body that makes us feel that way. And when we also start filling our mind with certain things, we also start to form these golden standards. And we start to try to achieve them through like unnatural means. Like, I don't know, some people say that doing plastic surgery is like not right, or maybe they say it's like unnatural and stuff like that. And I mean, my personal perspective is that maybe it might be a bit extreme lah, to really I don't know, change your body in a certain way that might not. It might make you feel more confident about yourself for a certain period of time, but maybe in the long run, it doesn't change the fact that you are still this kind of person. Yeah. I don't know. I haven't really thought more.
That's a totally valid point though. Like, but the thing is about plastic surgery, like my stance on it is that I find that it like people can do it if they want to. It's like I would do it if I could, because there's some things that I don't want people, like I don't like people like seeing like bad features. And just people like pinpoint it so easily. And so like if I don't want people to I don't want people to talk about it, so you just change it, That's the like kind of mentality that I have.
Right.
That's a horrible mentality.
It's no. It's totally valid also, but I think it still stemmed to the consumption of the type of media already. It's because like if you think about it, like individuals who are like, I don't know, living in villages or like don't even have access to these kinds of ideas, don't even think about having these kinds of like augmentations to the body.
It's because they don't really care. They don't even know what the ideal body is most of the time.
Because they haven't been fed those ideas
by companies. This is existential crisis things like you see on the billboard.
It's a whole manipulation of the whole kind of what the projection of the ideal citizen should look like. And then after there's a whole huge money grab in the end. It's like something that you sell to somebody.
India's just trying to make somebody feel like they're not the person. I think it's just bad. I don't feel like it's good anyways, but I don't know why people can get out of that thinking, like including me. Like just
like I said, like consumption is like media consumption.
Will stopping social media make me more self-aware? Is that possible?
I suppose it does play a big part. Yeah, and like and one of the things that I also do believe in is like when you have real life connections with other people and that they love you and they appreciate you for who you are, you don't feel like you need to compare yourself to something of a different caliber, because you know that you are loved with just as you as a person and not as the projection of who you are, maybe in terms of media or like the way you perform or like the way you are shown all over the place, because you know you are valued and loved. And when you are able to resolve that with yourself, I suppose, or I believe that an individual would like be able to, I don't know, find true happiness with themselves and their bodies.
Yeah, self-acceptance is a thing that most people, including me, can't come to terms with.
Right.
I don't know. Maybe we just haven't found the right person to like feel like we have truly accepted ourselves.
But you do have people who love you.
I don't know, man. Acceptance.
But you do.
I want people to feel like I'm cool. Yeah, I want to be cool. Like I want to be like social. Like I want to walk through like Orchard, like not during these times, but like like normally it's like, wow, that guy's taller, like wow, that guy's handsome, you know. It's just like, just feels, I don't know, I just haven't like experienced it before, and that's why.
Oh, I had this conversation with somebody else also. It's like about self-confidence and like accepting themselves. I think as you can see, I really don't care about looks. It's because like I really don't care about this. I mean, like different people place different values on different things, and maybe for you place it on like visual aesthetics and stuff like that, right? But I think how you also like find confidence in yourself or in your person is also about, it's about like finding something to be very good at, something else besides this.
I can't find that thing, you know. Like I'm still on the person. I've tried every sport. Like I may be good at it, but I don't enjoy it, or like that kind of thing, you know.
Why? If you're good at it and you're like, why not? Like just do it just because you love it, or like just do it until you love it, you know.
Yeah, that's what I did for like rock climbing and stuff. But the thing is like,
right.
What I find joy is in like competition where I can actually win, you know.
Right.
Yeah.
So you have to be able to go in and win and then come out.
Yeah, that's the kind of thing. It's like an anime training arc. And it's like you go through the long training and you finally like beat the opponent. It's like it's cool, you know.
I won. Okay, I'm done. Bye. Oh my goodness. Then why not? Like I don't know. It's quite cool. I think I do respect you a lot, and you guys and your family for like your competitive spirit and your like dedication to like always bettering your physique.
Yeah.
I guess also that's kind of why. It's because your whole household also does have to have a proper certain kind of physique to be able to win in these kinds of competitions. That's why you're always so obsessed about the body and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, everything starts to like come together now. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It's because your family is like that. It's because like maybe it's because like your sisters watch like your family watches like Korean drama, and then in Korea they have these kinds of things. Then after that these ideas get into your head, or like maybe it's because it's in the competition environment. It's because like they're really buff guys and they're really tall guys, and then you compare yourself to them. That's why you also have this certain projection on yourself that I have to be like that to also attain that kind of success.
Yeah. Wow, I think family plays a huge part in this stuff of mental thought processes. I think.
Right.
Yeah, like if you live in a family where it's like very accepting of your body and like your mentalities, I think you'll be more satisfied with yourself already at this point of time.
But I don't think your family does that to you also. Like they don't like belittle you for like certain types of
they don't. It's more me belittling myself. Yeah.
Yes. Maybe no, but it's also like the input. It's like the input kind of thing. Input of certain kind of projections. Then after that, you feel like you need to fit the mold, and that's why. Yeah. I guess for me that kind of feeling also would feel like maybe for me it's like music or something like that. Like for me, my whole family can play music and create music and stuff like that. And like I used to play before, but nowadays I don't play as much. And like I feel like there's a certain kind of like I wish that I could attain a certain higher level in certain mastery of an instrument, but I can't because I am busy chasing another version of success already. Which is like design and like creating content and like making.
But your parents are accepting of it, right? They're not saying like you should try learning an instrument again or like restarting.
My mom always encourages me, but like I'm at a point of my life I have grown to the point where I really am just doing what I like at a point. It has to also come with some balance also that you can't always just be doing what you like all the time and like neglecting other things. But with a proper balance, I do believe that I have found a certain confidence in myself, that I have a certain skill or a certain characteristic about myself that I can still hold my head high, and people can hate on me and stuff like that, but I have something to show for it, that I am of value. You know what I mean? Like to the kind of thing like where I can demand a certain rate for my photography skills, and I know I'm of that value. I can like charge a certain X number of dollars, and like to normal or to like peers, it's like, wow, you should charge so much for your photography. But like for me, I know my value and I know I have to charge a certain rate, and because I know I can perform, so
I can give the amount of input that like gives you that amount of money, that kind of thing, right?
Right. And you know your own value and you know how much you're worth. So I think it's also about diversifying. When you diversify your skill set, and your options, that's when you also find that you are also more confident. Because like for me, I can do like photography, videography, I can do blah 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 blah, blah all sorts of stuff lah. And it's because I've tried a lot of stuff. So yeah, I think it's also down to also expanding your options and expanding your experience. Yeah.
I'm just waiting for that moment of bliss to hit me. It's like I want to feel like I tried something new. And it's like something like, whoa, it's so cool. I want to do it all the time. It's like I want to try to get that feeling.
No, but it happens. It comes and goes, and you got to hit when you're like feeling it. Like, oh, yeah. I'm interested. Okay, let me just do it. Oh, this looks good. Oh, I'm just gonna do it, and just go and roll with that lah. And not to get stuck in that cycle of consumption all the time. You can consume media. You can watch YouTube videos. You can watch TikTok. You can watch Netflix. Blah blah blah. But at the end of the day, I always tell myself, okay, I've consumed already. I have to make something now. Input and then output.
So you're actually making use of the information that you obtain.
Yes.
Everything's just stuck in my head. I don't really use anything that I actually like gain, It's
yeah.
I don't know what to use. I don't know.
Right.
I don't know what goes for.
Try something. I don't know. For me, like I do writing. I make vlogs. I make content. I write stuff on Instagram and stuff like that. There's always a way out. There's always and then it creates more excitement within myself because I'm feeling the passion. When you start putting it out there, you start to enjoy it more, and that's when you get on a high. That's how you build to a high.
Maybe that's why I haven't actually found something that to get me that feeling. It's because I haven't been
putting it out.
Yeah, I haven't been putting it out.
Yeah.
I need to find something to put out, man. I don't know.
Because when you start putting it out, you will have a response from somebody else. And then that will also that's when you get that kind of feedback.
Yeah.
See, we're having feedback now. We're having feedback now.
Like you can improve and improve and improve and improve.
Right. And sometimes it's not just sharing it to anybody and everybody, but it's also sharing it with a certain bunch of friends. Because for me, like I also started when I was younger, I also started hanging out around a certain bunch of photographers or a certain set of like video makers. And then after that, I made friends that way. And then with those friends, like I also we all just encourage each other, and we had similar passions. And then we also started building this kind of kinetic energy that now we are alright, all these guys I met from Instagram, they're also still in that field. They're still making content, they're mass communication and stuff like that. For me, I'm doing design, and it's very related, and it's very interesting when you start to network with other people's of passions.
It's kind of just pushing each other all the way to the top, It's kind of inspiring. Ooh, I'm actually inspired now.
Just put yourself out there, and when you have the input, you also have to have output, and then you will start to get that flow.
But do I have to find an appropriate output for it, or do I just have to find something just whack, just anyhow whack? You get what I mean?
I don't know. Sometimes you can just write it to yourself. Also, for me, I keep a journal. So whatever interesting thought I have, I will just start writing. And when you start writing, right, then after that, it also creates a feedback loop within yourself. That you wrote something there. Oh, this is interesting. Then you develop the idea a bit more, and then you develop more, and then develop more. Then after that, you start to develop a certain philosophy.
So it's kind of like an idea spreading, creates more ideas, like a spider web type thing,
Yes.
I'm learning so much. Wow.
I think no, but it's also the kind of training that you also got in the academic system, which is the next topic that you also shared with us.
Yes, academic.
Because the academic system also, for me, from my perspective, it's always about just delivery on a certain fit the box. Come out the answer that fits in the box, then you just deliver that.
And this is my thinking. I created this when I was doing N-levels. They just the teachers are teaching us not to improve in our English or maths or science. It's more of teaching us how to score better.
Right.
Yeah, that's just what I feel.
There's always a model answer.
It's never the correct answer, but what the examiners want to see. Right.
What I noticed when I was also doing my O-levels after transitioning from homeschooling to this normal system is the school system was that especially during PSLE is there's a way that they want to see the question being answered, and then you have to fit that mold, and that kind of trains the individual to only believe that there's only one type of answer. Where actually, in actual fact, there are many perspectives to resolving the problem.
but they only teach one way because it's easier to handle children like that, you know?
Right. It's
Yeah.
because you're doing it to so many people. But you're not on your own. You have to take care by yourself, and it doesn't train the individual to take care of themselves because they are being trained like everybody else. And if everybody is like trained in the same way, in the easiest way possible, that's when you result in people who like will not be able to have or don't have the advantage of self-directed learning.
Yes. Maybe that's why people find HBL hard, because they cannot put together their own thoughts about the subject that they're learning, and they can't like put it together.
What's HBL?
Home-based learning.
Oh,
Yeah, that one. The one that we're doing now.
right. How are you finding HBL? What do you see as a problem with HBL at this moment of time? Like I'm not really clear
For
or
me,
up to date with
it's
that.
just a lot of distractions, you know. It's just harder to absorb information in an environment where most people wouldn't absorb information.
Right.
Yeah, it's like
Because you're in a state of relaxation.
yeah, it's like home is like solace, you know. It's like you just kind of go there to like chill, but like now you actually have to do work at home.
Right.
Like tilts the I don't know what I forgot what's the word.
Shift of the paradigm lah.
Yeah, that one. Yes. That I forgot what was that. Yes. Yeah, that's why. That's why it's kind of difficult to learn. I guess that's just me. But some people like they don't have the means to, so like they don't have like their own laptop, and then like they have really bad Wi-Fi in their house.
Right.
Or they have to use their data, and they have to pay a lot of money just to run it from home. And that's other people's troubles, just not mine.
Right. And in that sense, we are in that sense privileged lah, and we should be grateful for that. Right. I think one of the things that or my own analysis would be that maybe there's a lack of passion for the subject itself. So in the void of somebody spoon feeding you, or an individual, then after that they tend to struggle a little bit more because they don't have that drive to also consume the concepts themselves and to really learn lah.
It's like somebody giving you the spoon, but you're not really opening your mouth. You know, it's like you actually
right.
have to go forward into the spoon.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. To consume it, and which might be something that is lacking lah in the system, that it doesn't. It's telling that the system is not creating individuals who want to learn or are passionate to learn by themselves. Instead, it is making people who are followers.
Yeah. That's the kind of society that I think Asian societies usually have. Like the whole like continent of Asia is just like one leader, many followers. I guess that's good for like development of a country. It's like when you're going from third world to first world, I think that more followers are more important than more leaders. Right. But like now I don't. They're still using the same format. It's like they're just into like making more followers and more followers instead of people that actually like inventing stuff,
innovating and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So you can see from this observation that maybe the system or the public school system is it might be handicapping the growth of a nation that is trying to break into newer grounds.
I guess the like fear of change is just stopping them from doing anything. Yeah, I think maybe quarantine like circuit breaker may be a good thing though. Maybe they'll start to think about other ways of learning. Right.
Homeschooling.
Yeah, homeschooling. Yes, very fun.
Oh my goodness. We will actually be getting in homeschooling in like 2 episodes from now when I talk to my mom about homeschooling.
So
be pretty interesting.
Episode.
Yeah, she's gonna have a whole episode for homeschooling and the education system. Yeah,
I'm gonna binge listen every single episode now.
Depends on which episode. I think because like this like whole podcasting is like we delve into many things. Like in this one or even alone, we talk about philosophy and like these kinds of societal problems, which is like sociology and stuff like that. And we also talk about personal development, and after that, for in other episodes, we also talk about design and passion, which is also this episode. So I don't know.
It's very messy.
No, but there's a point in all of this. It's still like I think at the core of it is like just having the right attitude lah. This is the thing that I always say lah. It's just have the right attitude, and then everything just becomes a more enjoyable experience. Yeah. Yeah. I guess
Wow.
yeah, we've covered quite a few things. Okay, so Ethan, how would you summarize today's like conversation?
Very messy. I don't know. I can't see. I don't know. Maybe I can't see the clear point to this. Maybe my brain's not working today.
maybe what is something that you learned, or like maybe something that like what do you think you want to share with like the audience, like that you have learned or something like that?
I feel what I've learned personally is just that maybe I should talk to more people about this, because when you get more perspectives of a situation, you just kind of see more things that you should learn. It's like now, even now, like I'm actually learning that the more feedback I get, the more I can improve. That kind of thing. Right. But like if you're living in your own bubble, you don't really get that feedback, and you just kind of say like, oh, it's okay, I'm doing the right thing, you know.
For me, the illustration that I have is like when you have more mirrors around you, or like more friends or more people to reflect around you as a person, you would be able to have a clearer reflection, or you would be able to see yourself more clearly, maybe in terms of emotion, or maybe your physical standing, or maybe your intellectual standing, or your I don't know, whatever it is. When you're able to compare, or not compare, but when you're able to see other people's perspectives of you and able to encourage you, you'll feel more emboldened to also realize better versions of yourself, or to improve. And yeah, and that's the benefit of like finding, or like building a body of like people around you, a network of friends and family and people that you love lah.
Just you see yourself better. Yeah.
Right. I guess for me, my closing thoughts would be, I think this episode was pretty interesting, where we got into, I guess, like really trying to understand like how your upbringing or your background also has shaped you, even though we're in the same family, sort of. Because both, like your mom and my dad, like they grew up in the same environment and stuff like that, and in that way they had a certain experience, but just one generation after that, there already can be so many other variants of
it's like diverges people. Like quite a lot, yeah, in
very
one
fast.
Generation, yeah,
very fast, and also really defined by the environment and the passions that your or the values that your family holds and my family holds, and that it also can develop into very, very special and individual people. And yeah, I think it's really cool how like in one generation all of that can happen. I guess at this point of time I'll close the show if you don't mind.
Yeah.
Okay, so thank you guys so much for listening to this episode of 20 Minute Tea. Do share your thoughts in the comments or DM me. Share, like, and subscribe to Preppy Asha on Instagram, Spotify, and YouTube. Tune in every Tuesday for new episodes, full hearts, big brains, and warm cuddles. So yeah, Clayton, you wanna say anything? No, Ethan, you wanna say? Say bye.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.